Alright, so what we did in part one was we created a snapshot. What the snapshot will do is basically allow you to go back to the exact state you were in when you took the snapshot. The way you're going to do that is by either clicking here or the snapshot manager, and you can see there's a picture of how your current state was and a description you made. Let's see you installed the HCP or whatever, you can just name that there. And another thing you can do with snapshots are cloning them. That was a, if you don't want to go through the whole process with installing and creating the machine, you can just clone it, but you have to be aware that when you clone it, the machine has the same SID number as the other one you cloned. So what you want to do, you want to run Sysprep to kind of get around that. So if we can go in here and let's take a look at the command prompt. Alright. So what I want to do is press Windows plus R and run Sysprep. So you have Sysprep here. Under Sysprep, you want to select out of the box experience and click generalize and reboot. This tool is going to use with Windows deployment services probably as well. We're gonna come into this tool later, but if you decide to clone a machine, be sure to run this afterwards on a cloned machine, so you get your a new SID. So the thing is, if you want to see what your SID is, you can go in here and click who am I and click be the user, and you can see the Windows username. This is the computer name. We're going to change that as well, but it's the administrator. And here's the SID number. This is indicating if you're an administrator or if you're a regular user. The last one, others are just the SID numbers. So this is going to be the same if you clone, but when you run a Sysprep, this will you will generate a new SID number. And so what we're going to go ahead and do right now is installing VMware tools. So what you're going to do is click on VM install VMware tools. Yeah. Okay, so you go here into your folders, File Explorer, this PC. You will have the drive here. Oh, okay, it also popped up here. You can click here and run or open to view the files, or you can just double click here. So what it does, it basically mount the VMware software onto your virtual CD-ROM here. My computer at the moment is not really really fast for some reason. It might be the hard drive I've installed it on. You can see the CPU is using a lot of power. I have set it to 1 core. I could probably have set it to more, but for the sake of this video, we're not going to do that. After you install the VMware tools, we can do something that we can't do right now. You can right click there. If you go to settings, we want to be able to enable folder sharing. That will see that you can share folders between your virtual machine and your host. So if you have any folders you want to transfer between, or you want to drag and drop files into the machine, you can do that after you install the VMware tools. So there's a lot of things you can do with the VMware tools, like copy text from your host. Let's say you're browsing the internet and you have some commands, PowerShell commands you want to paste into your virtual machine. Well, then you can do that with VMware tools. And also, if you don't find your screen resolution, yes. Also, if you don't find the screen resolution in your machine right away, install the VMware tools. It might be that it gets fixed after you install the VMware tools, so that it can connect to your host settings. That's basically what VMware tools does. Allow you to connect more to your host and pick up the settings from there. So I'm probably gonna pause the video. Alright, so Control Alt Windows Insert and PS for period. Let's log in. So as I was saying, the VMware tools let you do different stuff. So let's see. Go to settings and options, shared folders. You can map it as a network drive right away and add and browse. Let's say that you want to what can I do? Downloads. World lists. Alright. Click OK. Enable this share. Finish. And click OK. What you will notice afterward, you don't need the network connection. The thing is, you don't need to have network on your computer for this to work. So as you can see, I have access to the folder without needing to have over the internet or over the network access. So that's how you do that. So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go over installing or adding some, adding some hard drives and network adapters as well. So we're gonna add a new hard drive. Actually, 5 gigs. Add, press enter, enter, enter. 5 gigs, enter. And just press enter all the way. We're gonna create 4 5 gigabit 4 5 gigabit hard drives. Click OK. And now click on disk management. Right click and start. Go to disk management. And you can see we have 4 5 gigabit hard drives. We're gonna make that into one RAID. Right click and bring it online. Bring all the 4 hard drives online. And initialize disks, all of them. MBR master boot record drives. And you want to create a new RAID 5 maybe, or actually, yeah, let's create a RAID 5. Add all of the 4 drives. Next, E, that's fine. RAID, yeah, RAID, let's RAID storage. Perform quick format, NTFS. Yeah, dynamic disks is okay, but you can use this as a backup disk. The reason we want to do that is just to show you how to create RAID 5 and RAID in general. The different things about RAID, you have striped, which just read data across every hard drive. It's going to be faster because it has more. You can compare it to a highway. The more fields you have in a highway, the faster traffic's going to go, right? The same here is the more you can write more data in a shorter span of time. So that's striped volume, and then you have RAID. That's more redundancy. RAID 1, I guess it is. RAID 1 just mirrors 2 hard drives. So if you have 2 hard drives at the same size, it writes the same data to both hard drives. So if one hard drive fails, you can just break the mirror, and you have the other hard drive that takes over, and you won't lose any data. So that's a redundant solution. And then you have RAID 5, which you have 3 or 4. You have 4 disks minimum, and you have a parity disk, which writes a chunk of data on all of them, so that if one hard drive fails, the other 3 have all the data to restore once you put in a new hard drive, replace the broken one. But you can only have one hard drive failing at a time. If you have 2 hard drives, your data will be corrupt, and you won't be able to use it. So you also have RAID 10 and RAID 6. We can go, if it's interesting, we can go through the RAIDs, but it's a whole nother thing. It's just to demonstrate how you can set up this in a virtual lab to play around with it. So when that's done, we can go to file and storage and disks. you can see we have 2 disks, capacity 14.9, 15 gigs. And the reason we don't have 20 is because it's the parade. It uses a chunk of all the disks to create this redundancy and store the parade files on it. So you can also see we have the hard drive set up here, and it shows 1 hard drive even though we have 4 of them. So that's how RAID works. If you would do that on a physical computer, you would actually do this in the BIOS, most likely, and not like this. You will put in the RAIDs, and you will create the RAIDs from the BIOS. The next thing I want to do now, right click and start, go to system, and go to advanced system settings. From here we're going to go to performance. We're going to increase the performance. This is a good thing to do when you have more than 1 hard drive. This is something you want to do to increase the performance of your server. I'm going to change the paging virtual memory file to another disk. So paging is basically a file that Windows uses on a hard drive and uses it like a virtual memory. So let's say you have 8 GB of memory. You can use a part of the hard drive like a virtual memory, even though it's not a physical memory you have from before. So we're going to change that to another hard drive so it doesn't eat up the resources of our operating system hard drive. Click off this automatically manage paging and go to your new storage. If you want to see, you can see what it is set to, but go here, customize. You can set this to 3 times your physical RAM. We have 4 GB of RAM, so we can set it to 16. Okay. So customize 16,000. And drive is too small. Yes, because you also have to have enough space. Alright. 1 0 too much. Okay. 60 megabytes. Okay. We don't have enough space, so but yeah, 16 megabytes is gonna be enough, I guess. And recommended is 1,400. Let's actually go to alright, let's use 1,400, I guess. No, sorry. This is gonna be cut out. Let's set it to 1,600 because that's what we're gonna use. Go to C, and now we're gonna go to no. We're gonna choose no paging file and set yes. So the paging file will be on the E drive, which is rated, and we have no paging file on the C drive. Click OK, and click OK. OK. That way we're gonna decrease the traffic on our operating system drive and increase the performance overall. And you can see it uses a chunk of the space already once away, right away. Okay, that's for this video. And keep watching part 2 for the next step.